you're struggling on defense in Madden 22, I promise you, you do not want to miss this video. Yo, what's up, YouTube? It's Duke, back here from SportsGamers.com. We got a nasty Madden 22 tip video for you guys today. I'm going to break down my favorite defense to use to stop all the most explosive offenses in the game that you see online. So guys, we all know when we get online, we're probably seeing the gun bunch offset. People love these formations to attack the flats, corners, crossers, post, bombs. I mean, it really does have it all. And then, of course, you got to worry about the routes to the running back out of the backfield, delayed fades. I mean, this formation has everything you could want in an offense, and you can still run the ball. So I'm going to show you my favorite defense to stop the most effective and common plays you're going to see online. It's very easy to set up. You don't need any special abilities. Any level player can use this with great success. So I'm going to be looking at the nickel 245 cover 4 palms. This can be found in the Baltimore Ravens defensive book, some others as well. I like the Ravens for the specific defense I'm about to show you guys. Now, for coaching adjustments, I turn my auto flip on because I always want my nickel cornerback to follow to the 3 receiver or strong side of the offensive formation. As far as zone drops, you leave them off. Cover 4 palms is a version of match coverage, and if you turn zone drops on, it cancels the match. What is match coverage? It's basically going to be zone that converts to man depending upon the route combinations and spacing on the field. Now, I broke down the rules of cover 4 palms against spread recently. You guys love that video. I want to do it now against bunch. So as far as subs go in this formation, the nickel 245, you can put safeties at linebacker. If that's something you can do based upon, your team. Maybe your safeties are better than your linebackers. I mean, if you play MUT, that's definitely going to be the case for sure. So I would recommend doing that. Now, this is a formation to where we're going to basically be bringing pressure from our front 4. So you definitely do want a good defensive line to rush for. You don't need abilities, but if you can have abilities, obviously you're going to get a little bit more pressure. So the cover 4 palms, I'm going to break down how it's supposed to work against bunch and then some adjustments I use to make it better. So we're going to make sure we have our bunch on the wide side of the field, and we're going to look at the most common plays starting with double post. You can find this bunch in several playbooks. The Colts Indianapolis is a very common one. Now, before I go further, I do want to remind you guys that if you're new to the channel especially, I do free Madden 22 tips, gameplays, and news on a daily basis every week on my YouTube channel. So if you like my content, make sure you subscribe, drop us a like, and comment on the video. All that stuff helps me out a lot, especially the likes. If we can get to 300 on this video, I will do another defensive breakdown for the Palms against another very popular offensive formation. Also, if you're looking to get better at Madden 22, be sure to check it out, sportsgamers.com. That's where I post all my premium Madden 22 tips, ebooks for offensive and defensive schemes. I do weekly tips, 4 to 6 in the Madden Vault premium style, and I have content available for both current and next gen. So I really have everything you guys need to get better at the game. Now, how is this coverage supposed to work against bunch? Well, basically, if we look at the quarter flat on the bunch side, he's supposed to guard the first player that goes into the flat, whoever that is, whether it's the tight end, the slot. Whoever goes in the flat first, he's supposed to guard. The outside quarter, on the bunch side, he's supposed to take whoever's breaking deeper towards the sideline, for example, a corner route. Now, the quarter zone on the lone receiver side, he is supposed to match the one receiver, whether he be on like a C route to the outside, a slant, whatever he's supposed to match. This quarter flat, he's supposed to take the player that goes in the flat on the left, whether that be the running back out of the backfield or maybe a drag across the middle. We're going to use the 3-rec hook zone, and generally speaking, responsible for most of the middle of the field, but we will have to cover different receivers depending on different route combos and plays that people use. Now, these safeties also can match. They can match certain times, crossers, deep routes, whatever. But there are certain ways that an offensive player can bomb you, if you keep these deep zones by the safeties. So one thing I recommend doing if someone knows a bomb is putting these safeties in a combination of either thirds or deep halves, depending upon what setup they're specifically doing to bomb you. We're more so worried about bombs to the bunch side of the formation. Now, like I said, we control the 3-rec hook zone. One thing you can do with this defense is you can press. I will say, if you press coverage, you need fast corners, because if you don't have fast corners right now and you press, no matter what the coverage, you can get beat deep. So be aware of that. Don't press unless you have the personnel to do so. If you do, it's better. But still, if you don't press. Now, I want to show you guys one setup that actually does a really good job of messing up this defense, which is this setup right here. Because what happens on this setup is the quarter flat on the left, for whatever reason, tries to guard the running back. So the drag gets wide open. So there's certain things you can do to kind of mess with these quarter flats sometimes. So the way I counter that on defense is I press coverage. Again, I don't have to do that, but if I have the personnel, I do. And then I shade down. Because what's going to happen now is the quarter flat's going to turn to hard flats. The hard flat after the patch is really good. As long as you don't have your zone drops on, it's going to guard the flat on its respective side of the field, and we still get the matching principles from our outside deep quarter zones. So, if they go back to this very same setup, all I really need to do is just guard the running back out of the backfield, just as I do here, and there's really nothing open, and we get a cover sack. Now, of course, they might just try to force something in there, and that's when you're going to see a lot of interceptions. So again, if they just try to force something, it's not open, bam, we can throw it, we can get the pick. So this defense is really sound. If you take a look at the replay, you'll see exactly what I mean. When you have the hard flat after this patch, it does a great job guarding flat. Takes away the tight end flat on the left. I guard the middle, break off to the running back, where the other one takes away the drag on the left side of the screen. Tight end is taken away on the right. Our outside quarter matched the C route. And this guy over here, he kind of played the receiver on the post for a split second. But what he did do, now if they would have let the play develop longer, what he would have done is he would have guarded the tight end once this hard flat passed him off. And my safeties matched up on the post. Because they did that, easily able to click on right here and get this easy. This was an easy click on user pick. So that is double post. Let's take a look at it against some more of the popular meta plays. Let's look at flood. Flood is so annoying. The tight end flat route this year has been, from flood specifically, has been one of the hardest routes to guard in the game. So we're going to do the same setup. We're going to press coverage. We're going to shade underneath, playing the 3-rec. Now, against flood, you want to play it a bit differently with your user. You're going to really need to look for this out route. You guys can see the out route is going to basically be probably the best read for them. So what I like to do is take away the out route initially, and then once I feel like they see that I'm guarding it, then I'm going to jump back over the middle to cover or help cover the in route. Because the in route is going to get matched. Over here you see the left receiver. He gets matched, but he's still going to win. So that's why you probably need to come back over the middle of the field on that. One thing you can do is you can actually go ahead and drop a hook zone if you want to. If you do this, I'd recommend putting an actual real D more so like a D end in the spot, but just drop a hook zone over the middle of the field, and he can help out on that. I would do a hook curl, or you could even do a vert hook to the left, but I would probably do hook curl because I think that gets more in the way. But that's just going to help you out. Just have some other player over the middle of the field that makes throwing this route a little bit more difficult, and we're able to get some pressure. So that's kind of what you want to look for on flood. We're going to be able to take pretty much everything away. We just kind of got to bait a little bit the out and the in. Another popular concept you would see out of this formation would be something like smash return, Z spot go, that type of stuff. So let's actually look at Z spot and go, perfect example. And this time I'm not going to press. I'm going to show you guys how this defense would look if you don't press. Same principles, just not press coverage. So again, we just shade underneath. We play in the 3-rec. So here, this is actually going to do a just amazing job of defending this concept. You guys can see, there's nothing open at all, so I don't really have to do anything. So you're going to see off this play that the flats are taken away on each side of the field. Hard flat on the left guards the running back. Hard flat on the right guards the tight end. The corner, he's going to match the corner route on the right. The one on the left is going to match the C route. The safety's over top for the deep ball. So I'm kind of just chilling in no man's land, kind of just waiting for broken routes. But before anything can really develop, they're going to get sacked anyways, as you guys can see here. Yeah. Next, verticals. Everybody loves verticals this year. This is a very common play to see a tight end delayed fade out of too, so let's look at that. So again, cover 4 palms, nickel 2-4-5. We'll say there are other formations to run cover 4 palms from. I just really like nickel 2-4-5 a lot because it's a safe formation for some good run and pass defense and not just, a bunch of DBs on the field that's going to get run all over. So with verticals, most people are just going to delay fade the tight end. And, you do have to worry about that running back right out of the backfield, the crosser delay fade, super tough. So what I'm going to do with my user against verticals is I'm kind of going to bait at first between the crossing route and the running back. So kind of like act like I'm guarding one, then go back to the other. And then what I'm going to do is come back over the middle of the field in case they try to do a delay fade. Now there they didn't even have time to do that. But you guys can kind of see my thought process. I run back as if I'm going to guard the crosser. And then once I see the running back leak out, I take the running back. And I would guard the running back for a split second until he kind of runs into the hard flat. And then I come back over the middle to look for the delay fade. So that's what I'm looking at there. You're going to see that the crossing route, he's going to get matched by the opposites, by the safety. The streak obviously is matched by the corner on the streak side. Same thing over here at the wheel route. So there's really not much going on. Now, I did allude to the fact that this is also good run defense too, which is what I really like a lot. So if somebody is going to try to run the ball, you're going to see that we're going to be able to defend this just fine. We'll just run the inside zone. Split. And again, we're going to do the same thing. We just basically shade down, press if we have the ability, and play on the 3-rep hook. That's it. Now, as the user, you're obviously going to look to go for the run too, but, there wasn't really much room to work with. You do want to try to make the play as a user, but if you don't, as long as you kind of just get in the way of the blocker, then the thing about cover 4 defenses is the safeties react immediately to the run. Their first step on a run play is down, right? So if you have good safeties especially, they're going to be in the box anyways pretty quickly to where they shouldn't get ever more than 3, 4, maybe 5 yards at the most. They're definitely not going to be breaking big runs at all against this consistently ever. It's Madden, so you might see a fluke run here and there, but this is going to be very solid run defense against these gun formations. I want to be very clear about this. If somebody is just coming out in I form or like some single back jumbo with a bunch of tight ends, I'm not running this defense. This is pass defense with different rules for different shotgun formations that will defend the shotgun runs just fine. But this is for people that pass first, run second. If someone's just running the ball nonstop, this is not the defense to use. So please, guys, just be smart about it. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to smash that like button. Until next time, it's Duke, and I'm out of here.